Hi, Dr. Craig Burns. In this short video, I want to answer the question, what do you take for a supplement and what do you recommend I take? I recommend you follow my thought process to figuring out that answer for yourself. As opposed to just following some doctors or some healthcare professional's recommendation, you should have your own thought process that goes into answering that question, because the supplement of choice is a critical decision. I think it's one of the biggest decisions people will actually make in their lifetime. You know that the quality of your diet dictates the quality of your health, the quality of your life, longevity, etc. The supplement decision is not that different. I want to walk you through my thought process, which has been published. It's on the internet. It's a worldwide recognized program that people from Canada to Australia to London and Ireland and multiple states all across the United States, people have been plugging in wanting to know, how do I figure this out for myself? It is a big deal. I want to be making sure that I'm giving myself and my children, my family, the best nutrients possible and the safest stuff possible. So it's a big deal, and you really need to know what you're doing. There's a 7-point checklist, 7 criteria that I think my supplement should be able to meet, and any supplement that you take should be able to meet these criteria to some extent, if not fully. Number 1 on the list, the type of nutrients that's in the product, the ingredients. That's key, but most people just don't know anything about ingredients, or that there's different kinds of vitamins, different kinds of minerals, different quality. The quality of the ingredient dictates the quality of the health response you get from the supplement protocol, right? It's like the quality of the nutrients that you ingest in your diet dictate your quality of health. So the quality is key. Quality is key. Quality is key. That's why you don't want to go cheap. You don't want to go convenient and easy. You want to actually put some thought into this. So here's the thought process behind number 1 on the list. I want nutrients that are the highest quality that come in the same form as if I had a perfect diet, which would be food form, which leads me to a food-based vitamin, which leads me to a food-based label, meaning there's foods listed on the label. My supplement of choice is Juice Plus. If you look at it, it doesn't look like your standard multivitamin because it doesn't carry a USP label. It carries what's called or recognized as a food label. It lists on here what the ingredients are, which come from kale, spinach, cabbage, broccoli, parsley, tomato, carrot. That's what you really should be getting every day in a perfect diet. But since none of us are, we need to be supplementing as a necessity of life, necessity of health, but we still don't want to compromise on nutrition. So we need high-quality nutrients. Again, the chemical molecular structure of a high-quality nutrient compared to a poor quality or chemically, synthetically man-made version of the real thing, different biological responses. If you look at most supplements on the market, and I do this day in and day out, I consult and I look at labels and tell people, this is what's in there. It's highly fortified with man-made versions of the real thing. You're not getting what you really think you're getting. That's key. So you want food-based nutrients primarily that carry a food label that give you the real value or biological response as great food that you're eating every single day. That's what you're going for, and that's what most people are not doing and failing miserably at. Number 2 is you want to find something that's minimally fortified. Now, most supplements, all supplements have to be fortified to some extent. That's just government regulations. But the best supplements on the market, like the one that I take, Juice Plus, has minimally added fortification ingredients. I like that a lot. I want it to be mostly all food. Just meet the government regulations for me, but keep it small, keep it minimal, keep it natural, and keep it as safe as possible. Most supplements on the market don't do that. Most supplements on the market don't do that. Highly fortified with all kinds of stuff that just really shouldn't be there when you understand the nature of ingredients and reading the label. Ideally, if you count up the names that you probably don't understand, can't pronounce, don't know what they are, you should be seeing 1, 2, 3, you should be able to count them on one hand, no more. Most times it's 20 or 30 ingredients that you don't understand. That's a poor choice. Don't do that. Number 3, processing method. Let's say in a perfect world you have a perfect diet, you go buy a bunch of high-quality nutrients, groceries, but you cook them to death. You just cook them on the stove for way too long. You're going to cook your food to death. They're not going to be a lot of nutrients left for you to ingest and benefit from, right? The supplement industry uses a lot of high-heat processing methods to quickly process it cheaply or quickly, and it kills off everything that's supposed to be in there. Juice Plus doesn't do that. The great products on the market, like Juice Plus, they use what's called freeze-drying techniques. So they'll get the fruit or the vegetable out of the ground off the tree at the right time, the perfect time. They'll hurry up and juice it, grind it up. They'll freeze dry it right away, put it in a capsule form, and ship it out. That's the ideal method for shuttling high quality nutrients into your body. Something that can last on the shelf, I won't name it, but can last on the shelf for 10 years. How much live living nutritional value is in there for you? Think about that. Most products on the market can stay on the shelf for a really long time because they're dead. There's nothing in there. So think about that. Work with that. That's very powerful, important information. It's got to be processed at a low temperature, freeze-drying techniques. Now, sometimes you can find knockoffs of this, and they will actually say that it's dried this way, it's dried that way, or they'll be kind of vague and not fully divulge how it's dried. You got to call and ask. And I've done this with a lot of companies. A lot of them are air-dried. That's like leaving your food out for a couple weeks. Ideally, when you buy food, you want to have it as soon as possible from when it comes off the tree or out of the ground, right? Or preserved in some sort of fashion. But when it's just left out to dry, it's kind of rotting, it's decaying. So in the end, what you're actually ingesting is not the quality that you're really going for, right? Number 4, you want to find something that has a third-party certification. This was important to me. I want the company to make great claims and try to make a great product, but I want some other third-party company to say this is right. What they say is in there in the right amounts, and there's no extra contaminants or other stuff in there. You won't find many products on the market, companies that will pay the additional price to have a third-party certification. Look at most of the commercial labels in any big box store. You won't see a third-party certification on there. There's a reason for that. I'm not going to go into it. I kind of just did, but there's a lot more to it than that. It's important to me that there's no contaminants in what I'm ingesting every day, and it's got the highest quality nutrients, and whatever I'm buying, whatever's on the label, is actually in there, and I'm getting my value for what I'm paying. My preference is NSF certification, like one of the highest levels of third-party certification saying this is a great product. So that's what you want. Juice Plus carries that. Love that. Number 5. Other ingredients, fillers, additives, preservatives, dyes, etc. First and foremost, if there's any chemical dyes like red and yellow and blue listed on your label, throw it out. Danger, danger. I don't like it. Google it. You should not tolerate that. It's dangerous for your health. But the extras, the stuff that is not the good high quality nutrients. A lot of stuff on the market has maybe some nutritional value to it, but it's just a bunch of other junk and fillers to make the capsule or make the tablet. I want the good stuff. I want the good stuff. If I'm going to spend $1 on something, I want $1 in return, not 20 cents of nutrition and 80 cents of something else that I don't understand. So look at the labels. Most of the supplements, even some of the natural health products on the market, they have a lot of fillers and binders and preservatives listed on the label. And a lot of people don't know what that stuff is, but that's why I created some of these sheets so you can go home, you can get in touch with me, ask me, I'll tell you. But you want good stuff, not a bunch of extra stuff. That's important. Most people think that the extra stuff is not a big deal because maybe it's in small amounts, it has no harm for my health. That's not true. Ideally, a supplement benefits you best, not only when it's high quality nutrients, but when you take it daily. So if you're taking it daily, but it's got something small that's maybe not so good for me, there's a net cumulative effect over months, years, or decades of that not so good stuff adding up. That scares me when I first got into this, and that's what got me educated, and that should kind of motivate you as well. Number 6, distribution method and price. First of all, distribution method. I don't buy stuff from big box stores, and you shouldn't either. Walgreens, Rite Aid, Costco, Sam's, the local food store, etc. There's a whole story behind how the supplement industry works in putting those things on the shelf and what they make them out of and how they mark them up to create a profit and a margin and be profitable, yada yada. I like going consumer direct, cutting out the middleman, so the company I buy from can invest the most amount in the nutrients in the manufacturing process, and then cut out the middleman so you don't have to mark it up so it's too expensive and I can't afford it, but I want high quality that is affordable. That's why you go consumer direct. You're probably going to see a lot of supplement products try to mimic this process over the next several decades. Price. Anything less, in my opinion, than $40-ish, $40 to $50 a month to spend on a supplement is not a good idea. That's what I think is a healthy range. You're probably buying a decent product with a lot of nutrients packed into that, a good reputable company with a third-party certification, a lot of stuff and time that went into caring for the product and wanting to see it help the world, but you're going to pay for it. Cheap supplements create cheap health. Cheap supplements create cheap health. I don't think it's a good idea. Don't go cheap. I would rather people not even supplement cheap supplements. And let's say another way. If you only have $40 or $50 to spend, I wouldn't actually spend it on groceries. I would spend it on a good supplement to fill the gaps that my diet is creating. So that's a totally different mindset that most people aren't thinking about. They'll just try to eat better. But with soil demineralization and soil depletion and people not being perfect with their diet, that is a bad option to bank on. Number 7, convenience and sustainability. Ideally, if you're taking a supplement, it should be done every single day. That's why I've walked away from a lot of the liquids, a lot of the other things you have to prepare. I used to teach patients, clients, friends how to do juicing protocols, which is very expensive, time-consuming, messy. Again, this is like, Juice Plus is like juicing, the concept of it, as far as food, nutrition, in a capsule. When you break this stuff up, it's powder. It's like juicing, but in a powder form, encapsulated, so you can put it in your pocket, take it to work, or take it on vacation, so you can do it every single day. In a perfect world, you're supposed to eat perfect every single day, and then you have perfect health, right? That's not the world I live in, and probably not the world you live in.